Welcome back to more Mario Party 4. Last time, we went through every minigame in Womp's Basement Brouhaha. So this time, all that's left in the extra room is this star. The star is shining like some kind of mean oil slick. Beach Volley Folly. This is 2-on-2 volleyball. Return the ball within 3 volleys. The first team to get 5 points wins. Which mode will you play? We have 2 modes to choose from, and we'll be starting with Battle Mode. Duel an opponent who becomes ever stronger. How many people are playing in this party? Select the characters that will be joining in the party. Select one computer player. Are these settings okay? We have 6 matches to get through, and our first opponents are Mario and Luigi. Alright, Beach Volley Folly is volleyball. So A hits the ball, which is used for receiving and serving, and B jumps. Jumping can be used to obviously attack, like so on, or like so, and can also be used to block shots as well, which I'll try to demonstrate. Normally this doesn't work well for me. Yeah, I completely missed. But you can block, and then sometimes both players try to block and it completely goes past both. This minigame has actually been brought back on numerous occasions. It's in Mario Party 5, I'm pretty sure it's in Mario Party the Top 100, and I'm pretty sure it's also in Superstars. So I guess this is a fairly popular one, though to be fair, not every minigame that gets brought back into these games are necessarily popular. There are definitely some cases of unpopular minigames making multiple appearances throughout the franchise. This is also unlocked by unlocking all the other modes within the extra room, including like the various challenge versions of minigames like Jigsaw Jitters and like the 9-player like panel dice roll minigame. Next up are Daisy and Waluigi. Unfortunately, there's only one court, so there's not a ton of variety. Mario Party 5 actually adds custom volleyball types with different effects, so I feel like Mario Party 5's mode is actually a little bit more interesting. Also, you don't necessarily need to jump on the third serve, you can jump on the second serve, which can be good for mix-ups. I'm actually surprised there's ever been like a full Mario volleyball game. I think there have been like mini games and other sports titles like Sports Mix for the Wii. But in general, yeah, there's never been a dedicated volleyball game. I think there was supposed to be one from Next Level Games, but because Next Level Games, I think it was like deemed too intense because it was going to be very similar to like the GameCube era Strikers and the Wii era Strikers Charged. Yeah, I want to say it was supposed to be like a combination of like volleyball and wrestling or something, which would make sense with how Strikers is, to be honest. Our next opponents are DK and Wario. unlike dedicated Mario sports games, I'm pretty sure everyone has the same stats in this mode, similar to the main boards of Mario Party where everyone kind of has the same stats. I almost feel like certain characters have disadvantages though because of like hitboxes, like, you know, trying to play book scoring with DK would not necessarily be ideal, but he still has like the same movement speed as everyone else, if that makes sense. This is going really quickly for some reason. The opponents are supposed to get increasingly difficult as the mode goes on, but it doesn't really get particularly difficult until you're past like the third or fourth match. This one is going particularly quickly though. I thought Peach was going to receive that, so I was not in position for that. Let's try to finish this up. Next up are Koopa and Toad. This is where things start to get a little bit more interesting. Not necessarily gameplay-wise, but the characters we're actually playing against. Yeah, we're actually playing against the hosts now. This is actually the only time when they're playable. So yeah, it's kind of a neat little bonus, and it also makes sense for these to be some of the more formidable opponents, since they were the hosts of the overall party. I definitely should have aimed that a little bit farther to the corner like that. Yep, that was good. I don't know if the hosts have the same stats too. I imagine they do. The trickiest thing, especially when playing with an AI, is coordinating with the AI, because sometimes you think the AI might try to receive it, and then they don't, and then you totally whiff. Beyond that though, again, this mode isn't overly difficult. I remember struggling a lot with this when I was younger, but I also wasn't very good at video games then, so nowadays I actually find it pretty easygoing to actually get through this. But yeah, it does feel like Toad and Koopa are putting up more of a fight, like we are having to play a little bit more aggressively. Like the last match was pretty straightforward, but this time they're actually kind of predicting movements a little bit more. Obviously, if you're playing against a human, you want to kind of go towards the aiming reticle as it's moving, if you can, but the AI doesn't necessarily try that until the later difficulties. Next up are Boo and Shy Guy. So, Goomba's the referee, by the way, so he actually doesn't play. Also, he doesn't have arms, so it makes sense that he doesn't play. I've not been trying to block, by the way. Maybe I should. I probably will have to, especially as the AI is getting a little bit more tough. Especially for the final match. In general, I feel like blocking backfires a lot. I'm surprised I was in. I thought that was actually out. I also feel like the court's fairly small too, so it's pretty easy to get around. So it is actually fairly easy to reach. You can also perform a dive if you're not quite in the circle and press A. I find it really spotty though, so I try to not rely on dives and just try to line up as close to the center of the circle as possible, just to be on the safe side. Well, I'm actually surprised Shy Guy got that one. I'm also surprised Peach went for that one since I was standing right there, but oh well. Yeah, that was an example of a dive. Again, it's a little bit finicky, but if you can pull it off, it actually is helpful. Our final opponents are Bowser and Koopa Kid. actually really weird seeing Bowser in a minigame. Bowser usually doesn't show up in minigames, with very few exceptions. Like, I can think of Mario Party 10, obviously, with the Bowser mode, but he's not really playable much. Is he playable in Superstars? I think he is. Not Superstars, Super Mario Party. Again, not confusing at all. That was an example of a block really backfiring on the other team. Yeah, you can tell the AI is playing a lot more aggressively. They're actually trying to go towards the aiming reticle. They're also trying to go for blocks and also serving on the second, or yeah, attacking on the second serve. So yeah, the difficulty has gone up, but it frankly still isn't that much to worry about, to be honest. We only have 1 point left. I do feel like sometimes the AI puts up more of a fight. This is actually going well. Yoshi and Peach are the winners! Congrats! Completing Battle Mode unlocks Free Mode. Choose a character you like and play any game. How many people are playing in this party? Unlike Battle Mode, which is up to 2 players on one team, you can play with a full group of 4 players. Select the characters that will be joining in the party. You do have the choice of picking any of the host characters as well, which is pretty cool. This is the only time when they're actually playable. And we can choose our teams. Are these settings okay? Unfortunately, this is just the same thing that we've already seen. I just want to show off all of the different options, but yeah, it's just more of this mode. It is cool that you can play this free play, but again, Mario Party 5 does add more options, so I do feel like it's a better, well-rounded mode in that game, but it is kind of cool that you can play as the hosts, which you normally can't in these games. There are some modes where if you press B at the very end, they'll take you, or they'll give you the option to go back to the beginning to change all of your settings. This is not one of those cases, unfortunately, so we have to back up all the way. But that takes care of the extra room. We have gone through every mode here, including the unlockable ones. But yeah, a lot of the minigames have to be unlocked by clearing the base versions in the regular minigames. And yeah, once you unlock everything, then Zatar will show up. In later games, Zatar would also be known as a Shadow Star, and is actually a major item in some games, basically removing a star instead of giving you a star. But I think this is Zatar's first appearance, and it's kind of funny to me that it's very ominous, and it's just the host of a beach volleyball minigame all along. But yeah, that's about it for extra mode. Leave the extra room. And with that, we're almost to the end of this playthrough. We have gone over everything except, I guess, the options and the present room. So I guess we'll be going over those next time. So thank you for watching, and I hope you'll join me next time for more Mario Party 4.